Have you ever been told that you're too small, too weak, or too ordinary to do something great? What if the only thing stopping you was believing those words? This is the story of two boys from a remote Chinese mountain village who discovered that the limits we fear are often only inside our minds. In a peaceful village surrounded by bamboo forests and misty hills, two best friends spent every day together. One was a 6-year-old boy named Liang. The other was a 10-year-old boy named Jun. They explored the countryside, climbed rocks, chased butterflies, and shared every adventure as if they were brothers. One bright afternoon, they wandered beyond the village path while playing a game of tag. "You're too slow to catch me," Jun shouted with a grin as he sprinted ahead. Liang laughed and ran after him. But a moment later, disaster struck. Hidden beneath tall grass was an old, abandoned well. Jun stepped backward without seeing it. The ground crumbled beneath his feet. Before he could react, he disappeared into the darkness. A loud splash echoed from below. "Liang, help! Help me!" Liang rushed to the edge and looked down. Far below, Jun was struggling in the cold water. He couldn't keep himself afloat. Fear rushed through Liang's body. He looked around desperately. There was nobody nearby. The village was too far away. Even if he ran for help, it might be too late. Then he noticed something beside the well, an old wooden bucket attached to a long rope. Without thinking twice, Liang grabbed it and lowered it into the well. "Jun, hold the bucket!" Jun reached out and grabbed it with both hands. Now came the impossible part. Liang wrapped the rope around his small hands and pulled. Nothing happened. He pulled again. The rope moved only slightly. His arms burned. His legs shook. Every muscle in his tiny body screamed for him to stop. But he refused. "I can do this," he whispered. Again and again he pulled. The rough rope scraped his hands. Sweat rolled down his face. His feet dug deep into the dirt. Slowly, inch by inch, Jun began rising. The effort felt endless. Several times, Liang nearly lost his grip, but each time he tightened his hands and kept going. Finally, with one last desperate pull, Jun reached the top. Liang stumbled backward as his friend rolled onto the ground beside him. For several moments, neither boy spoke. They simply lay there, breathing heavily. Then Jun looked at Liang. "You saved my life." Liang smiled through his tears. "Of course I did. Who would go on adventures with me if you were gone?" The two boys laughed and cried at the same time. After calming down, they knew they had to tell the truth. That evening they returned to the village and explained everything that had happened. But instead of believing them, many villagers laughed. A 6-year-old pulled a 10-year-old out of a deep well? That's impossible. Liang is far too small. The boys tried to explain, but nobody listened. Nobody except one person, an elderly villager named Grandpa Wei. Known for his wisdom, Grandpa Wei quietly listened to the entire story. Then he smiled. "The question is not how Liang did it," he said. "The real question is why he was able to do it." The villagers fell silent. Grandpa Wei continued. "When Jun fell into the well, there was nobody there to tell Liang he was too weak. There was nobody there to say it couldn't be done. There was no voice telling him to give up. So he never accepted any limits." The crowd became quiet. For the first time, they understood. Liang didn't know the task was supposed to be impossible, so he simply focused on saving his friend. And because he believed he could, he found the strength he needed. The lesson is simple. Many of the limits in our lives are not real. They are beliefs we have accepted from others. When doubt disappears, courage grows. When excuses disappear, action begins. And when you stop telling yourself that something is impossible, you may discover that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined. So the next time someone says, "You can't do it," remember Liang, because sometimes the strongest person is not the biggest one. It's the one who refuses to believe in limits.